Amen. Y'all gonna come right on back next Sunday. Amen. Come on, tell the Lord thank you. Everybody ought to be that. In the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, beginning at verse 12. Look at what it says. Look at what it says. It says, and the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer. I have heard thy prayer. And I've chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven, that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if. How many of you know that when we see that preposition, how many know something happens if you do something, God is going to do something. Amen. 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 If you do this, then God will do that. Look at your neighbor and say, friend of mine, do your part, so that God will do his part. Come on, let's say it again. Tell him again. Do your part, so that God will do his part. Come on, say it one more time. Tell them one more time. They might be hard to hear it. Amen. Tell them again. Talk loud. Use your authoritarian voice. Come on, say it. Tell them. Do your part. So God can do his part. Do your part. My God. Now the one we love to quote but don't like to do. We quoted 90 to nothing. Yes, Lord. Say it. Still cussing. Oh, my God. Still lying. Oh, God. Y'all know when it comes to income tax season, I tell you, don't curse the rest of your year trying to get some income tax. Oh, God. Don't curse February, March, April, and May trying to lie to get some income tax in January and February. You wonder why your paycheck can't stretch. You wonder why you're looking for money at the end of June. You wonder why you're looking for money at the end of July. And then you want to get mad when the people, when they come and get their money back after you lie. Look at somebody say, do right. Stop lying. If my people. Oh, he said don't add to it, don't take away. Oh, but I feel a modification coming on. But I'm gonna go right here. If my people, if my people, if the church folk, if the choir, if the Sunday school, if the mission, if the overcomers, if the usher board, if the Wednesday night teachers, if my people, if the deacon board, if the brethren of the church, if the women's department, if the youth department, if the purity, if the sunshine band, if whoever you call yourself, chosen, all God's children. If my people, inspiring missionaries, missionaries, if the preacher, first lady, if my people, which are called by my name. Now, my people. your family is somewhere and they embarrassing you, mamas? You know when your children, when you take your little one somewhere and they start clowning. Oh, see, some of y'all need a little therapy in y'all life. Y'all remember where Butler's was on the mall? Back before they changed it and they had a door you could come in over there by Butler's. And one day Mother was the evening and Mother and myself and Mo, we were all going to the mall, amen? And Mother had told us to stop. But we found some, you know, we were children that went to church and we would always laugh at church folk. Some of y'all do it now. Amen. And I don't know if it was Mother or Eula B we was talking about, or Usa B or Who's a B or whatever we was talking about, but it was funny to us. And she told us when we get in that mall to stop. Well, you know, I was always the agitator. And I never shall forget the janitor was coming down the hall, sweeping the hall. And I slipped and said it one more time. And Mo just fell out laughing. Y'all ever seen the cartoons where it's like, Mother went upside that boy's head. The janitor couldn't do nothing but drop his broom, lean on to the side of the wall, and fall out laughing. But she told him to stop. Hear somebody say, warning come before destruction. But because we were her children, catch what I'm saying now? She didn't want us out there embarrassing her. That's my children. And when you say you belong to God, there's a certain way you should act if you're going to represent God. See, some of y'all get upset with Pastor Catlon, but it's a certain way you're going to act if you say you belong to God. If you say you belong to GFC, if you say you're part of Greater Freeman, there ought to be a certain way you ought to carry yourself. Amen. That's right. Amen. Glory be to God. That's right. My. See, they saying, you sing that song, oh Zion, what's the matter now? Zion don't teach what she used to teach. Zion don't dress like she used to dress. Don't act like she used to act. Don't preach what she used to preach. Don't teach what she used to teach. If my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves. Too many big eyes. I want to give direction to the little youth. Too many chiefs. Not enough Indians. And they got nerve enough to be hollering, ooh, you, that's what. And y'all don't mind I preach in this house. And I'm not just talking about this church, but I'm talking about everybody who say, we got a lot of folk out there that's proclaiming, professing, but there's no fruit on their tree. Now look at what it says. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and so that means they weren't being humble and they weren't praying. Church, we got to pray. That's right. It's praying time. We have to humble ourselves down. We've got to humble ourselves and pray. That's right. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, then it says, seek my face. You see, the reason why you in my business is because you ain't seeking God's face. The reason why you got so much time to be concerned about your neighbor, Sister Sally Sue, Sister Mary Martha, Brother Look So Good, the reason why you so busy is It's because you're not seeking God's face. Because if I was seeking his face, I would be learning his ways. The more I seek his face, the more I learn of him, the closer I get to him. Now I don't know why when you was in the world, you love to sing, the closer I get to you. The more you make me feel. The closer you get to God, you ought to feel like praising God. The closer you get to God, you ought to feel like being around his people. The closer you get to God, you ought to want to pay your tithe. The closer you get to God, you ought to love me the more. The closer you get to, why you don't want to get close to him? Because you know you got to come up out of yourself. I told y'all, I sound like preacher. The closer I get to, y'all still there.
My God.
Seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Wicked ways. We got some folks that's got some wicked ways. Wicked, just wicked. See, and some of us, we've been wicked so long till we don't realize we wicked. Now, can I preach in here? See, I preach with my eyes closed. See, y'all don't be bothering me. See, like them children over there that's having a conversation. But when I open and put them on blast, then they're going to want to say, Pastor Mean. Amen. You better hush your mouth. Amen. Warning come before destruction. Better humble yourself down to your parents, amen. Amen. Ain't that the teacher don't like you, you don't want to keep your mouth shut. All right now. Amen. Come on, tell the Lord thank you. I do open up every now and then. Humble themselves. Pray. Seek his face. Then it says, turn from their wicked way. Well, what kind of ways are wicked? Come on, preacher. My God. What you mean, wicked ways? Putting other things before God? Wicked. Go and seek counsel of others before you seek counsel of God? Can somebody say wicked? Backbiting? Wicked. Loving the things of the enemy? Wicked. Lies on top of lies. Wicked. Despitefully doing stuff, knowing that it's going to tear up some stuff, knowing it's going to hurt somebody. Wicked. Causing confusion. Wicked. Stop going spreading mess about what you feel. Amen? Oh, you got a feeling that her husband cheated on her. Oh, you just feel it in your spirit. Wicked. Oh, you got to feel it in your pinky toe. Wicked. Plot. Having a meeting after the pastor done had a meeting. Wicked. Well, see, they got a lot of wicked ways. Facebook, you being wicked. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all of them. Stop being wicked, amen. Ring, 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 ring. Girl, your husband off today? I thought I just seen you. That's my sister. I'm going to help her out. I thought I seen him with child. Well, if he at work, but that would not been him. You wicked. You should have got on your knees and prayed if you thought you saw something wrong. Why you didn't get on your knees and pray? Pray for the sister. Pray for him. Amen. Amen. Sometimes we don't know how to handle information. And we can do wicked stuff with it. Amen. Amen. Whole bunch of more ways, but I got to move on because I said I wasn't going to be long. Then will I hear from heaven. Now notice, we had all of those ifs. Then we had the then. If you do all of this, then God gonna do all of that. So if we wondering why everything after the then ain't happening, you need to check before the then and after the if.
My God.
If your life is raggedy and there are no fruit on your trees, maybe he didn't shut up your heaven and there'll be no rain.